This has been a really interesting unit composition. Or I guess just the lack of tanks has been interesting to me. Because when I was playing, tanks were a staple. Marine tank. That's all Terran would get. Here comes the big push that I was talking about from the Zerg. Can he get enough explosions off, but he's forced to pull back. That is not how Zerg wants to deal with these engagements. Having the queens out. Tough queens. Their 5 range defending a bit more. But he needs to maintain his army as long as he can. And then push out rather than losing here and there. A few here and a few there, because then his army never grows and he's never able to overwhelm, and he's just dumping more and more resources into the Zerglings in main. He's trying to defend himself. In the meantime, ForGG has had his 3rd up, and he's reinforcing his, replenishing his army. The few that he loses up on the front lines, and the supply difference is quite big now. Let's see the army difference. Massive, about 25%. 33% larger than Darkforce's, but Terran typically has, Zerg typically has a lower army resource value than either Protoss or Terran at any one time, and then they shoot up right when they need it. But Darkforce trying to get a 4th. Those blue flame headings, how many of those is that? 12. They're gonna get surrounded. Oh, look at those Zerglings just disappear though. Ouch. They all got into the orange in one hit. He tried to... That was pretty expensive to defend that. That was quite offensive. Quite expensive. I should have tried to count how many Zerglings there were there before that happened, before that engagement happened, to see what the trade-off was. It might have been about even, but he did lose some banelings in there. Those expensive little bundles of explosive green gooey joy. The Infestor's in play, just what he needs to defeat this army. Nice fungals, very nice fungals on those Marines, and the Thors are basically all that's left, and all the medevacs might get taken out. No, but we have a flank, reinforcing flank from ForGG, and all those medevacs are so low, letting they pick up 1 Thor. That was a very nice save. 1 more fungal on those, please. Take out all those medevacs. No more energy. No. But you might take out more Thors and maybe more medevacs, the weak ones. That was some excellent play by ForGG, and he's even dropping the Thors on the high ground, saving the rest of his army. That was excellent, excellent play. Look at all those weak. 4 medevacs in the red, 2 Thors in the red, less than 50 HP each. Supplies are even. That was an excellent play by Darkforce as well, putting all that pressure on him, but ForGG, despite that, was able to save quite a bit of his units from those medevac pickups. 6 more HP on those rocks. There you go. Replenishing the Thor army. So he doesn't have the tanks to take out all these Zerglings yet, and he's not getting them anytime soon. It doesn't look like. Vehicle attack level 2 coming in. He doesn't have any armor upgrades quite yet. Adrenaline glands and 3/3 coming in for the Zerg. He's going to have a massive upgrade lead in response to this. Here comes the push by ForGG. Darkforce is getting ready. Here comes the swarm. The counter swarm. He does have enough units to hold this off, and the infested Terrans are being lobbed in. They don't have Neural Parasite, which could be quite useful against these Thors, but I guess they're not getting it because it's too expensive, and they already have 2 abilities to spend the energy on, so it probably doesn't seem like a very worth it trade. He could perhaps pick these Thors up. There's no more energy on these Infestors for any fungals, so he could get away if he decides to save those Thors. But there are more reinforcements coming in, help push the Zerg back. Comes a push in the 4th. Zerg doesn't quite have. He's picking off some stray. Oh, but here comes the Baneling roll, and it's quite effective. But oh, if you just take a glance at the supply tab, Darkforce is way behind. That was all he had. That was the last of his army that he had. He spent all these resources on these upgrades that haven't kicked in yet. He possibly could have used on an army. So it seems like an excellent timing for ForGG to attack here. That tier 3 transition, that weak spot for Zerg, seems to be, an excellent time for Terran or Protoss to push. He's got 6 mules at this 4th, and is that a planetary fortress? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Doesn't want to be screwed over by any Zergling counterattack. Could he Zergling counterattack? He could Zergling counterattack at the 3rd. It is totally wide open. Or will he do it? Will he notice? He's been having to look, and the Banelings just detonate on the doors, not doing anything. But he could have perhaps Zergling counterattacked. Well, he couldn't actually. He was forced back in his base to build up his army as much as he could. But he might have been able to do it, but it could have been risky, and he would have risked just not having enough back at home to just prevent himself from getting completely wiped out in one push. So all this offensive pressure, offense is the best defense. Good offense. That's probably not the case. Cliche little saying. But it is the case in this game, it seems. Though I guess it was the offense that made his defense weak in the first place. So it just depends. It's all relative. More ForGG continuing his push. Darkforce getting back into the corner. If ForGG, when Terran cuts off an army from its reinforcements, that's when they win. But those infestors are defending quite nicely. Without the tanks, there's nothing to really snipe them off. So they're all living and just building their energy up. And look at that. Darkforce might hold it off, but I don't think so. But I think the supplies is just too great now. These boss infestors with their infested Terrans and a few Zergling reinforcements are just keeping the Terran at bay for as long as they can. Quite impressively. Lack of tanks is just ensuring that they live, but they are totally out of energy. Dropping as many more Terrans as they can. But yeah, when Terran or Protoss get in between the Zerg army and their reinforcements, that's when the Zerg is screwed. Look at that, able to the awareness and presence of mind to pull his reinforcements back so I don't get cut off. And there's the GG. So out of the best of 5, I guess, ForGG won quite handily, 3-0. And hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably be doing more of these. If you want to see more, you could subscribe if you want. But as a warning, I'll probably also be making some more Warcraft videos if you have noticed. So if you don't want to see anything about World of Warcraft, you don't want to get notified of it, you don't want to peek at it, then probably don't subscribe. But I probably will be making more videos, and I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time, hopefully.